Today, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
Okay, I thought this week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The number. Won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Running on first down is Cook, but he didn't find much there. Call it a gain of 3, second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field, and they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
37-yard line.
Those are the numbers from Rudolph from last week's game. 4 catches, 55 yards. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they brought this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So here come the Browns now for their first drive. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 38. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Sliding out of the pocket. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Boy, a real head-scratcher there, and that will force a turnover on downs. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage. Now, Cook hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return out just shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 46. And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 54 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead.
Hopkins on for the extra point.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Takes it at the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Tackle made by Marcus Golden. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11. Now Cook. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
He's brought down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Now a run with Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow the ball.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. They go play action. Mayfield. They're bringing it in right side here. Beckham. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And the Browns first down.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
First down, Browns.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
28-yard line.
They go with Chubb on second down. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, second and goal. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Cleveland.
From 4 yards out. And the Browns have taken the lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot, because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get one step. If you're within one step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
It's second down and 10.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 37. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Well, a pitch and catch here to Rudolph.
Cousins pass.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Randy Gregory picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. To throw, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 51 yards. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's first and 10. And finding the tight end Hooper. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
And the Browns first down.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and he will be out of bounds as time has run out on this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Matt Gay.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this carries into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
27-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, They almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. First down, Mayfield. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now. Starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall net.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Larry Ogunjobi in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. In trouble, and he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety.
Result of the play.
And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
This is brought in at the 21. The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Randy Gregory on the stop. A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
Coverage defensive.
Now the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. And it's complete. Hooper. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st.
1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
28-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5.
Throwing, Mayfield. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken it.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't they? Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So this drive spans 7 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. To throw, Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Cousins. And he finds Cook. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This one brought in by Jefferson. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Cousins again. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move him.
And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. And that is too far out in front of his intended target. Incomplete.
Brings up 4th down.
And now comes the field goal unit on. And boy, this is asking an awful lot here. Maybe that's an understatement. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Running for it, here's Chubb. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt.
38, Vikings 7.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Offense.
Oh, what is that?
So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. You have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
Sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. It might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Little pitch and catch here to Rudolph. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
3rd down and 13.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And now running right through him. And he's going to have a Browns first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
A gain of 12. 1st down, Cleveland.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. That's It's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better.